Money is only 5,000 years old. Humans? 200,000. So for 195,000 of those years, how did people get food, tools, even goods? You've probably heard the answer. Barter. I'll trade you 2 chickens for an axe. That story is in every textbook, every economics class, even video games. But here's the twist. Anthropologists have never found a society built on pure barter. Not one. Ever. So what were humans actually doing? For 200,000 years, the real answer is stranger and way more human than any coin. It's a system built on memory, trust, and debt. No wallets required. So where did the barter myth even come from? Blame Adam Smith. In 1776, he guessed barter came first, then money. He had zero evidence. Just a hunch. Turns out, his hunch became economic fact for the next 250 years. Picture a hunter-gatherer band, maybe 30 people. You kill a deer. You don't sell it. You just give it away to the whole group. Sounds too generous to survive, right? Actually, it's genius. Because now, everyone owes YOU. Not money. A social debt. Next month, someone else kills a boar. They remember. They share back. This is called the gift economy, and it quietly ran human society for tens of thousands of years. No coins. No prices. Just memory of who gave what to whom. Humans, it turns out, are shockingly good at remembering debts. Anthropologist David Graeber studied this and found something wild. In these societies, everyone basically knew everyone's giving history. It's like an invisible spreadsheet running in every villager's head. But gift economies only worked in small groups where everyone knew everyone. Take the Kula Ring, a real trade network in the Pacific Islands. For centuries, islanders paddled canoes between islands, trading ceremonial shell necklaces and armbands. But here's the twist. The shells weren't worth anything practical. They existed purely to build relationships, status, and trust between islands. It wasn't commerce. It was choreography. So what happened when total strangers met? People 500 miles apart? Here's where it gets wild. Archaeologists found seashells 30,000 years old. The catch? They were found 500 miles from the nearest ocean. Someone, or a whole chain of someones, carried them that far. On foot. Ice Age humans were trading obsidian, ochre, and tools across entire continents. Even Neanderthals may have done it, long before civilization existed. Some ancient trade was even stranger. It was called silent trade. 2 groups would leave goods at a set spot and never meet face to face. One side would leave gold. The other would leave salt. No words. No haggling. If the offer seemed fair, you took it and left. If not, you walked away. This actually happened along ancient trans-Saharan trade routes for centuries. But without money. How do you even price a seashell against a spear? You don't. You just trust the relationship. Trade between strangers ran on reputation and on debt you'd repay later. Here's the part textbooks skip. Debt came before money, not after. About 5,000 years ago, in Mesopotamia, temples started keeping records. Not coins, clay tablets. Tracking who owed grain, animals, labor. To whom? That's right. The first money wasn't even something you could hold. It was a number carved into wet clay. Basically, humanity invented debt before it ever invented cash. Even the word shekel, one of the oldest currency terms, started life as a unit of barley weight, not metal. Money, in other words, grew out of debt, not the other way around. Eventually, humans needed something portable to represent that debt. So they started using things everyone already valued: cattle, grain, salt. Roman soldiers were literally paid in salt. That's where salary comes from. In Mesoamerica, cacao beans, yes, chocolate, were used as real currency. You could literally buy a turkey with a handful of cacao beans. Along the North American coast, indigenous nations used wampum, carved shell beads, the same way. Every culture, independently, landed on the same idea, something rare, durable, and trusted. Cowrie shells became currency across Africa, Asia, and the Pacific for centuries. None of this was money like we think of it. It was trust, made physical. Actual metal coins? Those didn't show up until around 600 BCE in ancient Lydia, modern-day Turkey. That makes coins about 2,600 years old. Out of 200,000 years of human history, that's the last 1.3%. So here's the real sketchy truth. Barter was never the beginning of money. Real economies ran for millennia without a single coin ever existing. That's the part barter never explains. Debt was. Trust was. Memory was. Money didn't replace barter. It replaced something way more fragile, human memory. And this wasn't primitive. It was a fully functioning economic system. It just didn't need a single coin to work. Once too many strangers, too much debt, too much distance piled up. Society needed something that didn't rely on remembering who owed who. So humans invented a physical stand-in for trust itself. We call it money. For 200,000 years, your ancestors ran entire economies on nothing but memory and trust. Cash is new. Trust is ancient. Your ancestors ran the whole economy on trust for 200,000 years. Coins? Just a shortcut. Follow for more sketchy truths.